Happy Monday, first grade friends. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend and that you were extra good to your moms yesterday for Mother's Day. I'm Miss Kelly. Those friends in room 9 know me, but if you're from room 14, Mrs. Cronin's class, I'm sure you've seen me around. I'm going to be explaining what this week's assignments are, so everybody knows what's expected of them. These assignments will be due by Friday, so work on them throughout the week. Included with this video will be a attachment, and it will have all of the assignments for the week outlined for you. And I'm going to go through each subject and each assignment with you so that you understand what you need to do. All right, so the first assignment is your reading activity for the week. So you're going to be watching a video on Brightly Storytime, and the link is included here. And it's a read aloud of The Lorax, written by Dr. Seuss. Many of you may be familiar with that book. It's a very popular book. And in the story, the Lorax, the Onceler cuts down all of the truffalo trees and made them into thneeds. Okay, the Onceler was greedy and selfish. He did not realize that he was destroying the environment. So you're going to watch the video, and then after the video, there are 2 questions for you to respond to. The first question says, A, in the story, the Onceler made many choices that changed his life and the lives of the animals in the Truffalo Forest. Do you think the Onceler made good choices or bad choices? And then you have to explain your reason. If you said you thought the Onceler made good choices, tell why you thought that was a good choice. If you thought the Onceler made bad choices, tell why you thought that that was a bad choice. And then you need to draw a picture to go with your answer. You also need to answer this question. B, at the end of the story, the Onceler gives the boy the last truffula seed so he can plant a new forest. What are some things you can do to help the environment? And then draw a picture to go with your answer. So you're going to be writing ways that you can help the environment, write them in complete sentences, and draw a picture to go with each of your questions. Okay, now we're going to move on to math. Now for math this week, we are going to be working on understanding tens and ones in a 2-digit number. Okay, and you're going to be working from your Volume 2 Ready Mathematics book. So it's the book that you were given. It's brand new. We haven't even started working in it yet. So you're going to be working on lesson 19. It's the first lesson, okay? And it says tens and ones, okay? Understanding tens, lesson 19. Now, you're going to be reading the family letter with your family, and that will give you an overview about what the lesson is about, okay? And then you're going to do the activity with your family that is mentioned, okay? I have some little elbow macaroni here, okay? And I'm going to just kind of explain the activity to you now. So you're going to have maybe your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister, somebody, or you can even do it. Take some pennies or macaroni, whatever you have, you know, quite a lot of, okay? And you're going to put some into a bowl or a container. I have mine in a clear cup, okay? And you're going to just take a handful of whatever it is that you have in your cup. You're going to take it out, and you're going to place it on your table. I'm using my whiteboard as my table, okay? So I have a small handful on my whiteboard, but you're going to have it on your table. And then you're going to start to count those items, okay? And the goal is to see how many groups of 10 you have, okay? Before you start counting, make a guess about how many tens you think you have how many groups of 10 you think you have in your handful. I'm going to guess that I have 3 groups of 10. So now I'm going to see, and I'm going to take each macaroni and I'm going to count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I have one group of 10. And I placed my macaroni into groups of 10. Nice, neat rows. I have 2 columns of 5 in each, so that makes 10. Now I'm going to see if I have another group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have another group of 10. So now I have 2 groups of 10. Do you know how much 2 groups of 10 is? Let's count by tens to say the number. 10, 20. 2 groups of 10 is the same as 20. Now I'm going to count to see if I have another group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only have 9 ones. I don't have enough to make another group of 10, but I was super, super close when I guessed 3 tens. I have 2 groups of 10 and 9 ones. Do you know how much 2 groups of 10 and 9 ones is? I hope you guessed 29. You would be right. So I was only 1 short from having 3 groups of 10. But you're going to do that activity with your family, okay? You can take turns doing it several times and seeing how many groups of 10 and how many left over you have, okay? I'm going to put those right back in there. A couple spilled. And now you're going to, after you do that activity, you're going to work through the pages in your lesson 19 workbook. Okay? So you have tens frames that we sent home with you in your bag that were stapled together with some other things. You can use those to help you understanding tens and ones, but you're going to be working through the pages and working on what you can work on. Okay, some of the questions you may not understand, have a grown-up help you. Some of the model it questions you can't answer because it would be done by your teacher in school. When it says to use, base 10 blocks or connecting cubes, you can use pennies, you can use macaroni, things like that to manipulate and, put them down on your paper and use those instead, okay, to help you with tens and ones. Okay, when it asks you to draw tens and ones, we draw a long skinny rectangle to represent a 10, and we draw small squares to represent our ones. So long skinny rectangle represents the tens, and small squares represent the ones blocks, okay? So this number, we see one group of 10, 1, 10, and we see 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So the number that is represented here is the number 14. One group of 10 and 4 ones equals the number 14. Okay, so we're working on understanding that a 2-digit number is made up of tens and ones. Okay, so you're going to be working on those math pages throughout the week. You don't have to take a picture of every single one and upload it. Just, work at your pace throughout the week, getting them done. Maybe send 1 or 2 of the pictures to us. Okay, that's plenty. Okay, then after math, your science lesson, we've been working on learning about the changes that the moon goes through each month. So hopefully you've been keeping your moon journal in your science notebook and sketching each night when you go out to observe the moon, you're sketching what you see. So for science, you're going to be watching 1 or 2 of the videos that are included in the attachment. Okay, they're both about the moon. And then you're going to work on in your science thing BA Scientist Notebook, you're going to work on page 256, where it's talking about moon patterns. You're going to just make a prediction about how long you think the pattern of the moon phases take throughout the month. You're going to circle your choice and explain your thinking. And then on page 257, Science in My World, you're going to read the question, and it says to look at the photo of the moon here, and you're going to answer this question. What do you observe about the moon? What questions do you have? So what are you wondering about the moon? Okay, you're going to write those questions down, okay, in your book. Okay, this is just an essential question. This is nothing for you to do down here. It's just to read. You don't have to write anything down. So that's your science. Now, for your social studies this week, you are going to be thinking about a leader in your life. So last week you wrote about so last week we were talking about leadership, and this week you're going to watch a video, and the video is included in the link here. And we've said this year we've learned about Martin Luther King Jr. and President George Washington as being wonderful leaders. Those were leaders in our country. We want you to write 3 sentences about one person in your life who is a leader and how he or she is a leader. So Miss Kelly has an example here of my writing. So remember, when we write, we start with capital letters at the beginning of our sentences. We use spacing between words, and we use end punctuation. Okay, at the end of a sentence, we use end punctuation, and our writing is nice and neat. So my writing, okay, I had to write 3 sentences about someone who's a leader in my life. I wrote, a leader in my life is my sister Erin. Whenever we write someone's name, we need to make sure we capitalize it because it's a proper noun. She is a nurse who takes care of sick people. That's one of my details describing why she is a leader. And then I said, Erin is caring and helpful to everyone. That's another detail telling why she is a leader in my life. People who are leaders care about others, they help others, and she definitely is someone who is a leader. So I have 3 sentences. I have my first period here, second period here, third period here. I have 3 sentences. My writing makes sense, it's clear, and it is presentable. So once you finish your writing, you can take a picture of it, upload it to Class Dojo. Okay, we can't wait to read about who the leaders are in your lives. Okay, so those are the assignments for the week. I want you to continue to work on Scholastic Literacy Pro to do your independent reading. You should be reading every day. I know some of you have books at home, that's great, but if you go on Scholastic Literacy Pro, Mrs. Cronin and I can see who's reading and how much you're reading. And we also want to remind you, iReady reading and math, you need to be doing that 20 to 30 minutes a day per subject. And we're monitoring that, watching who's doing that. And remember, you need to do your work to get credit for your classes. So make sure that you're not giving your parents a hard time about getting it done, that you're being independent and getting done what you need to do. Have a schedule and make sure that everything is organized. Okay, we miss you. We hope that you're staying well and healthy and getting outside to enjoy some fresh air. And we will see you on our Zoom this week. Okay, take care of yourselves, work hard. We miss you. Goodbye.